to start off by playing. We haven't played this in a long time, but when Holly and I first started this company, Holly like stayed up way too late one night making an entire diss track uh song, and then I basically produced the music video. After she created the song and some clips to the video, I like put everything together. So this is this is the song, and it like disses on all the other brokerages, and you'll totally like know one of them. It's just yeah, it's just so
I can't wait. Can't wait to
here,
see it.
here we go.
Built like us. They talk big, but they ain't built like us. Built like us. They don't build like us. They don't move like us. They don't lead like us. They don't grow like us. They don't build like us. They don't move like us. They don't lead like us. They don't grow like us. Fake leads, fake love, fake company goals. Dex fees climbing while they gas up your soul. Promise the world, handed floor, time scraps. Tied to their dreams while we lap the map. Logos full of zeros and G's, but never sold no keys. Do like us. They don't build like us. They don't move like us. They don't lead like us. They don't grow like us. Raised up brands, broke down chains, closed real deals, not bought fake names. Leaders with scars, not LinkedIn fame. We built the streets, they just bought the lanes. This car need a Windows login just to beg for a call. Do like us. They don't build like us. They don't move like us. They don't lead like us. They don't grow like us. Built 2 castles, fled both thrones. Switch brokerage is more than open doors. Leadership with no closing hands. Babies in boardrooms can't run real land. Promise but never deliver, just bull-faced lies. Like Pinocchio trying to franchise. You threw shade but I became the sun. Mirror shows the boss I've become. My real estate company leading the game. Built my empire standing strong. While you're out there guessing, own my brand, stack my wins. Built my freedom without your schemes. No desk, no leash, no check to sign. This empire's mine, and it's built on time. Same day checks while they still chasing CDAs. Built like us. They don't build like us. They don't move like us. They don't close like us. They don't own like us. They don't build like us. They don't move like us. They don't close like us. They don't own like us. Awards you had to pay for. Clout you had to bribe. Meanwhile, we just built it.
So that was
Did you put that out?
yeah.
Did you? Did you get any feedback on it? Did any other companies or agents say anything? No.
No, but then again, we did it like right when we were first invented, basically. So we didn't get, we'll have to throw it out there again and see what happens. But I knew one of those parts in particular, and I saw you laugh at it. I knew
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a couple Easter eggs in there about a couple companies. Yeah.
Exactly.
You guys, your marketing, the videos and stuff you make are really, really good. One day you're gonna have to show me, because I want to really make some good eye-catching stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just all about like screwing up, and like you screw up a little bit less and a little bit less each time. So this quote really stood out to me. Josh is out today, saving one of his closings. And so I was in charge of today's quote, and then we also have one from Holly up next. But I put this one here. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. It just really struck me, because I kind of feel like when people talk about our company, or even the stuff that comes out of my mouth, they always say, oh, like you're ahead of your time. Like the stuff that you say, people don't know that they need it just quite yet. And so this is what really struck me this week. And then I really liked Holly's quote in here. So I'll let you talk about that, Holly.
Thanks. You decide what your time and expertise are worth, not the seller, not the listing agent, and not even your client. And so that's why we try to teach you how to show your value, especially from contract to close. So I'm really excited about, upcoming trainings we have, including this Friday, which we'll talk about. But I just think it's really important for us to remember that as we go about our day and speak to people.
Amen. All right, our mission and vision. I'll leave that up here for a second. Core values, built for relationships, handle it, productive conversations, pivot fast, play smart, impact over influence, radical transparency, and business over buzzwords. I think one thing that has stood out to me this past week is the radical transparency. People seem to very much appreciate it. I'm extremely transparent with anybody. Nothing's hidden behind the curtain. If I can tell you the why behind something, I will, because it just makes sense for all of us to grow stronger. Especially if how I'm being transparent, you're like, hey, I've already gone down this road. I can tell you how it's going to end, and you give me a better idea, so. Anybody else before I flip slides? All right, your leadership team, staring right in front of you. Josh's B slide made it to the slide. Okay, command brief. Holly.
Yeah, so Josh isn't here today, but I was doing a little research and realized he's so modest. He hasn't been sharing this with us. So these are his last 4 articles in Inman. One of them is even links to a YouTube video, and I love that he does that, but constantly providing value to the industry, to our agents, and just always available to help. These are some really great articles. So we are always turn our Inman articles into blog posts and then share them out. So I'll make sure that that's getting done on these as well. So
Kyle let Josh know he's fired. Okay. Who wants to talk about this training?
Brennan, do you want to talk about
I
it?
will. Yeah. So we have part 1 last week, week
2
before,
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, kind of going over how to lay out your buyer strategy sessions, what it should look like. And then tomorrow we're going to put that into a live role play for you guys, so you can kind of see what it looks like in this day and age. So make sure you tune in. It's gonna be a good one.
All right, and then we're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday trainings as usual. So Utility Connect is going to be on Monday, and that's all about helping your buyers. Does it help sellers at all? Kyle, can you talk about this since you're the one that set it up?
It does. It helps sellers if they're relocating to set up service in their new location. It can also help people who aren't buying or selling. Holly knows more than me about it. She's used them at previous brokerages. So if you want to chime in and save me.
The reason we want you guys to tune into this is because if you use this service, we want you to understand what all comes with the service and how to tap your clients in, how to warn them about anything. You get a cut if your clients buy, let's say, home security and everything through them. However, you want to set it up properly and be like, hey, just so you know, they're going to help you with your utility transfers. They're also going to let you know about some extra services. Feel free to decline, however, that training, that's what that's about. Tuesday is our true crime and real estate. And this is a really hot case because Kyle told me it was just on 2020. So I can't wait to dive into all about this real estate agent. She wrote a book about her husband dying, the grief of her husband dying. And then it turns out she killed him. So she was just, I believe, convicted of it. And Wednesday, we've got our Google Workspace training. So most brokerages just give you a ghost email. We've thought it was very important to give you like the whole shebang of the Google Workspace. You have access to Google Meet, slides, the calendar, all the built-in AI with it. Brennan showed me an email that he had, and I was able to look into it. And no, it's like it's not anything extra, Brennan. Once you're like signed in, it's boom, like a lot of really cool workflows and automation. So we're excited to give you that training as well. And none of this costs you any money. It's just already like stuff that you have access to. Brokers?
Yeah, just a reminder that we have our collaboration co-working space. Sorry, Lindsay, I was looking to see if you were here. I just wanted to jump in. But Lindsay, thought of the idea after agents were asking her so many questions. So we're just kind of taking turns, making sure we're available for you, specifically in the prospecting and co-working space, so that you can jump in, you can do, head down focus work, you can make prospecting calls, and each day kind of has its own theme. So 10:30 to 12 noon Central Time, Monday through Friday.
Right on. Brian?
Yep. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central, we're going to do Ferris Bueller. Again, we're kind of trying to make our way through like the classics, the movies that everybody should have seen. So this one's next up on the list.
And then we have a survey that's been sent out to you in your support channel. Please fill that out. I think we've gotten really good response on it so far. If you haven't filled out the survey, please fill it out by tomorrow. Kyle, you're up.
Okay. April, we have 14 closings on the books this month, so I thought that was worth mentioning. Great job, everybody. All right, a couple shout outs. We already have 2 closings, and actually, since I built this slide this morning, we have 3 because Damien already closed one this morning before the meeting. So that's one of the 5 more scheduled this week. So shout out to
Damien, you're on fire, man.
this month.
Look at you.
And then, yeah, Andy had his very first closing.
Congratulations.
Wait, and then also, I mean, our Texas too. That's awesome.
Thanks for taking over, Sandy Lynn. I wasn't getting there fast enough, I guess.
I'm sorry. I'm just like excited.
It's fine. Okay, that's all from me.
Called
Good job,
having a
guys.
big personality, Kyle. God. Are you done though, Kyle?
I am
No,
done.
seriously.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys.
Brian, you're up.
Yep. So we enabled 2-factor authentication for everybody for your Google accounts. So everything you sign into should hopefully be more complicated now, which means more secure. That helps out with a lot of things. I haven't heard anything from anybody that you had any issues. If you got prompted for something, I'm hoping everybody got through it okay. But if you do have any questions, just reach out to me anywhere at any time, whether if it's in Zoom, message me there. If it's in Slack, message me there in your support channel or water cooler, however you can reach out to me. DMs in Slack is fine. If you're having an issue, just let me know. We'll take a look.
I literally thought I had 2-factor authentication set up this whole time, and I didn't because it just prompted me to yesterday. So
Cool.
I got through it just fine.
Good.
You'll be happy to.
One of the good things about Google is they're big enough that hopefully they make it pretty user friendly.
Yeah. And again, the reason that we do this, guys, is to make your E&O more enforceable and to cover your ass even better.
Yep. And then for our scam, like fraud alert this week, I've seen a couple of them already this week from Lindsay and some others where, you'll get somebody's ID, picture of it, you're trying to verify identity, just, pour over that ID as best as you can with a fine-tooth comb. AI is pretty good about a lot of things, but you'll notice like lips and teeth are wrong. If there's, misspellings on a government ID, go online, go to Google and just look up, like, show me, Ohio driver's licenses, and make sure the one, like, here's 50 random examples on the internet, make sure the one you've got matches the one that you got from somebody for that state. Just, whatever you can do to verify. If you have forewarn access, forewarn phone numbers, call phone numbers, if you can get them on a video call, just any way you can get more information about them to verify that everything from every source matches up, the better. But because we're also in, Fair Housing Month, make sure you're not asking for, any information that could be a, violation of privacy rights or anything that could violate discrimination, laws or rules for real estate agents. So, do everything you can to make sure you're not getting scammed, but make sure you're also not crossing any lines. So dance that fine dance you have to.
And also guys, I'll tell you, I have a pretty big one that we're working on right now, and my thought is the only way to stop these scams is to actually figure out the best way to report them and who they get reported to. So make sure that you're turning this into your leadership. That way we can decide, is this something that needs to go to a local police department based on how it was delivered, or does it need to go straight to the FBI, or if there's a place to capture that information? Because some of these are very serious and they're not going to stop until someone makes them stop. So, be mindful of that. Don't just block the number and call it a day. Let's make sure that we're also, if it's big enough, to capture it, and let's stop this, for our industry.
Amen.
All right, so we're still in Fair Housing Month. So that, fair housing came about originally in 1968 with the original Fair Housing Act. Next slide. Which only covered race, color, religion, and national origin. Next slide. So, over the years, different ones have been added. And I think one of the ones I want to talk about is 1974. That's the real turning point for women. It's really hard to believe that it's been like just around 50 years. And that's the only time that, women could start buying homes on their own. Before that, they oftentimes needed a co-signer, a spouse, a father, a brother, and it's just kind of like wild to think about. Realtors, so members of the National Association of Realtors, are required to complete fair housing / anti-bias training upon becoming a member, and then every 3 years on a cycle. So this is in addition to our regular code of ethics training. So next slide. So I've got some links. Here's one just to get started. And I'll share other links. These are 3 ways that you can satisfy those requirements. And if you're not a NAR member, and this is important to you because it's important to us, to make sure we're all complying with federal and local laws, all these have a pay option. So if you're a member, it's free. If you're not a member, it's like $50, depending on which course you decide to take. So next slide. And then if you are a member of NAR, you can log into your profile and it will very clearly tell you both things. Fair housing, is it incomplete or complete? Your code of ethics, is it incomplete or complete? So if you need any help logging into your NAR account, let me know. But that's where you can figure it out. Next slide. So implicit association testing, I just always found this interesting. Some people hate it, but I wanted to make sure you knew it existed. And I'll drop the link after I'm done. But you go to their website, it's like hosted by Harvard, and there's like a litany of different things you can test, like biases. So just for fun, when I was creating this, I did a bias test between Trump and Nixon, and it was crazy because what it does is like it makes you like push buttons for specific directions, but like depending on the bias you have in your head, they can tell based on what you did wrong. So they can be like, well, you were clearly skewed to always marking positive words with these pictures and negative words with these pictures. So, I think it's just information, and
That'd be fun to do. So is that like a quiz we can take?
Yeah, exactly. And it's for everything like gender, sex, different races. So there's like a whole litany of options. And I know at least Sandy and I really always try to look inward and like, try to figure out why we are the way we are, how we can continue to improve. So you can take whatever you want away from that information, but I did find it fun. So
interesting. Thanks for posting that.
Yeah.
Brennan.
Hey, so for mortgage updates, rates are really staying the same. We're really in a pause. That's the biggest thing everyone always wants to know. With it being April, We know inventory is climbing, so that gives buyers more opportunities. Just something to keep in mind there. I think the key is to just be super strategic with how you structure deals, but really no massive change in the last week. So just keep your eye on that and be aggressive. Let me know if you have any questions about mortgage or different strategies you can use with mortgage to structure offers.
Have you found more out or know when there will be more information coming on the VA stuff that you?
It might be out. I don't have it personally in front of me, but I know it's May 1st.
Okay.
And I know I just had a listing that we're super upset because we got a appraiser who usually does commercials who appraised our listing, and it was VA buyers, and we got tore up. I mean, to the point where they were like, I don't know if this is worth it. I think we're going to be okay, but I'm excited for them to loosen the reins on that, because I haven't seen it. My business partner, one of my business partners, is an appraiser. He looked at it and he was like, dude, this is crazy. So
I've also
I'm
noticed
personally
sometimes
excited.
the appraiser, it's like up to the appraiser to even enforce it too, so I've also
I
noticed
know it's a
sometimes
lot
you get
of
a hard ass and sometimes you get like appraisers that don't flag shit. Lindsay. Lindsay.
Okay, sorry about that. According to our protocol on our side of the track and the way we train, typically the agent would have a solid CMA ready to submit or pre-submit the CMA to the appraiser. Is that something you guys are allowed to do or was done in this case?
Yes, but what the issue is that they tear apart the actual home and flag it for a bunch of repairs.
Yeah, value is good. Value is good. It's the repairs.
And matter of fact, like the VA has the best value. Like that's one thing that the VA loans stand out on is like they got Tidewater. So like if they ever didn't, appraise out, we could invoke Tidewater, which no other home loan process allows you to basically appeal on the spot. So that's nice. And that's kind of what I use in multiple offer situations for VA loans. But yeah, it's literally them enforcing, like you can't have a Federal Pacific electrical box, all these different peeling paint, all that shit. And what's shitty about it is it's not just that you can't have peeling paint, it doesn't even enforce it getting fixed the right way. It's like slop a bunch of paint on top of the peeling paint and make sure that like there's no peeling shards on top of it. So it does
So
nothing for the veteran.
what is the super nice deck? Is it like Trex deck? Is that what it's called? I think so. Like an example in this house, they've got a back deck that's redone that way, so it's not wood. It's
Composite,
like
yeah.
it lasts like much longer. They even did the steps that way, so he hit the steps saying the steps have to be wood. So they want us to rip the steps out and redo them, even though they're like completely perfect and better material. He was hitting that, like heat in the garage. There's heat in the garage. He said,
This dude
he
just
said,
doesn't want the veteran to have a home.
dude,
That's
I
what that
know,
sounds like.
I know. I'm like, come on, man. This
Right.
is wild. Like, so we're gonna rip that up and put lesser material on it to make it go through.
Here's the thing, Brennan. Nobody has ever been able to give me an actual list. But these are all lessons that I've learned the hard way. For instance, one of the houses that I was helping somebody buy was within 100 feet of a gas station. Apparently, you can't do that. And with a government-backed loan, so FHA and VA, you can't buy a house that's within 100 feet of a gas station. So where's the fucking list that we can have, that we can flag for our clients, at least giving them a heads up, hey, we might be able to get this through the appraisal, we don't know, but I'm just letting you know, this might be a close call.
Well, I'll try and get us a list from the mortgage side on this May 1st changes.
It'd be amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. State and local news. We got, oh yeah, we got social media post of the week. Is Hobby even here? I don't think
Loser.
Hobby's here.
No.
Hobby, you're gonna have to watch this later. But no, Hobby's social media has been awesome. He's really been taking every opportunity that he possibly can to, turn it into a story on social media. So that's exactly what we're trying to teach you guys to do. Holly, what do you have to say?
Yeah, for me, it really stuck out too that he just recently joined us, but he's been very good about tagging the company and almost all of his posts that are relevant to real estate or his mentoring. So I think that that's really exciting too.
Yeah, great job, Hobby. And then our tip of the week.
So
Holly?
this is straight out of Josh's video that he is submitted an article that he had in Inman. So, one of his tips, and you may have heard him say this before, is create a weekly 60-second market update, because inevitably when you're in the store or you're at the gas station, whether it's somebody you know or somebody who finds out you're a real estate agent, the very first thing they ask is, how's the market? Even if they don't even know what they're asking, right? So how great to have like a little video on your socials or on your Popple that you can just send them. Oh, great. Oh, I actually just recorded a video update. Let me send it over to you. So, I wanted to make sure you all knew that that was kind of Josh's tip. So,
I love that.
yeah. My slide's still in progress, but I just
I
wanted
love
to
that you're gonna do one of these though.
I just thought like whether it's like lawsuits or whatever, like what is the latest tea we can talk about as a group depending on the time, right? So like whatever, we're good. So I was reading, and this happened a couple weeks ago and I just didn't see it, but apparently HUD is considering, which is the government urban development program housing, and they're considering doing like blockchain and crypto stuff. And so there's like people that are super supportive of that and excited about it because it's like the wave of the future. And then there's people that are like, it's not really tested, and like, should the government be doing this now? So I don't know if any of you have any thoughts on that. Do you know what blockchain and crypto is? Like, Brennan, do you have any insight?
I mean, I know what it all is. My opinion, I wouldn't bank on this, but like I've invested in XRP, which I think is going to be the big underlying factor of blockchain. And I watch banks. So I see, like we have Chase and, all these big players. That's where they're putting their money. So I think that it is the way of the future. I think money exchange will happen via the blockchain. When, how, I don't really know. But it's Brian, that's a good question. That's our money, really. So we've got all of our money in their banks that they're making interest on. Then they're taking that and investing it in blockchain and these things. Yeah, I still think they've got to figure out a way, because it's like free, it's like instant. Like they're gonna lose out on all these fees that they have with what are the programs they use now? Swift, some other things that transfer money, like ACH, stuff like that. I don't know all of it, but I do know that it's going to happen. It's kind of like AI. I feel like it's going to happen. Nothing super
really
in depth, but
understand the concept of it, and now forever Brennan's gonna be a crypto bro in my head.
listen, my mom wants to kill me. She asked me in like 2014, 2015, something like that. She was like, "Hey, I found this stuff called a Bitcoin." And back then you had to download these programs on your computer and like buy it. Like it's super sketchy, it seemed like. She's like, "You think I should do this?" I was like, "Nah, don't do that. This
Don't
seems crazy." She'd have been a millionaire
50
today.
bucks per Bitcoin. You're
Yeah,
ridiculous.
she would have been a millionaire today for sure. But I mean, I know enough to be dangerous, and I have some money in it, but I'm no expert by any means. I follow the money. I follow what, other people doing, and I see them investing in it. So I know that, it's going to go that way. That's my 2 cents.
I think one more piece of tea time. Oh, Justin, what were you going to say? I saw you on mute.
I was going to talk about blockchain a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the reasons people like blockchain, or at least developers, is that because of these big data centers, what you're paying for when you buy a coin, it doesn't matter which coin you buy, each of them is their own little system. But what they're doing is they're charging you for the processing power that helps encrypt your data. The reason banks and things like that like it, and it actually would be really great for real estate, is every time a transaction is made, it's tied to your like digital identity, but they encrypt that, and only the intended recipient is able to, I guess, open it and then see your digital timestamp, everything. So it's really, really good for tracking information and verifying that it's legitimate. But then they encrypt it because they have the data processing centers that are constantly changing the encryption. So it's more secure than a standard stagnant encryption. That's kind of the idea behind the blockchain, is that it's kind of always changing, so it's not as hackable.
So, I mean, it sounds like that could really help with identity theft if done right. And it truly is, could help with identity theft and a lot of these scams and frauds that we're seeing, right?
Well, it also aids in scams and frauds because it's untraceable.
Well, it's not untraceable. Exactly.
Okay.
The thing is it would be hard for them to fake the digital identity. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's really, really good for the financial industry.
Has anybody here actually bought anything with crypto using cryptocurrency?
To buy like a physical asset?
Anything?
I mean, I've had coins, Ethereum and various relatively obscure ones.
I bought XRP when it started.
But have you bought something with the Bitcoin that you purchased?
They're saying like traded.
Sorry.
Like, yeah. Have you
No.
used that currency to buy something?
Nope.
I think most people at this point are just putting money into it.
I know
Though-
of people who have bought homes with crypto.
Yeah, I was
Basically,
gonna
we're
say
all
they can do that.
confessing we are not crypto people.
Yeah, I am not. If I don't understand it, I'm still willing to, like throw energy at it, but I don't own any crypto because I don't understand it to the level of trusting my money with it. But okay, shifting gears, I have another piece of tea for tea time. And Holly's I love that she did that slide because this is a really good opportunity for us as agents to either like give. So once I started my true crime and real estate podcast, everybody's been messaging me, potential true crime stories to put on the podcast. So I want you guys to be thinking about potential tea that you can be giving to Holly that we can talk about. But one thing is that an agent was basically fined $2,500 or will be fined $2,500, is in the process of being fined $2,500 for trespassing. Not an agent at our brokerage. Thank God. But basically what happened was, and as I understand it, is the key wasn't in the key safe, or no, the key was in the key safe, but the storm door was locked and he couldn't get into the storm door. So he called the agent and said, hey, I can't get into the house because the storm door is locked. The agent calls the sellers and the seller's like, oh my gosh, I knew to leave that door unlocked, darn it, But in the meantime, the seller's watching the camera And the agent walks through the door and he's like, hey, I managed to get in. And he's holding like his credit card. Like he jimmied the door open with the card instead of using a key. And so the whole thing was, you know, he technically broke into the house. And what reminded me of this is I saw another post on Facebook of this like girl, and she's like posting the cutest little selfie, and she's like, oh my God, like as a real estate agent, the number of houses I've had to break into. And I'm like, why are you bragging about this? Do not brag about this. So anyway, the sellers were naturally super creeped out that do not confess to crimes on social media. Let's all start with that, guys. That's going to become a part of our social media policy.
I was gonna say, write that down, Kyle.
Write that down, Kyle.
Shouldn't need to be said.
Shouldn't. Also, don't break into houses while we're at it. How about don't do that? But yeah, naturally these sellers were creeped out because, you know, they just were caught off guard at the lack of professionalism and the fact that like somebody was willing to break into their house even though they had given permission to enter, but the house was technically locked and the guy didn't have a key for the door. So that's my understanding. So I wanted to give that piece of tea up.
Yeah.
If it
It's
seems like a good idea, but not all the way a good idea, don't do it. It's a good, it's good initiative, bad judgment. Right, Colonel Lucas?
Because what we've, you know, ascertained is just because you have permission to show the property doesn't mean you can get in by any means necessary, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen that happen on like $1 million listing. People are hopping fences and gates and all this other stuff, and they're showing off to their clients about how they can get in. It's like, don't do that. It is a crime. And while we're on the subject, if you have permission to show a house from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., do not enter that house at 9:55 a.m. That is trespassing. Unless you have permission, text, call, whatever. Hey, I'm here a little early. Is it cool if I come in? Yeah, anything like that with the listing agent. That is also trespassing. It just blows my mind how many people will just like access the key safe, and then it's on the key safe record that you accessed it early. Like,
Yep.
Just don't do it. Kyle, our risk mitigation, do you have anything to add?
Just use common sense. I know it's not that common anymore, but we all have it. Let's use it. If you have a question, ask your broker too. Like if it's a gray area, let's try and get it out of a gray area.
When in doubt, reach out.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Can't quite place my finger on it. Brian is
Any-
posting all the amazing shit today.
Any final thoughts from anybody?
Any alibis? Good meeting, shorter meeting. I love it. All right, Holly, close us out.
All right. When in doubt, reach out. Messages if you need us. We are here for you. We all started this morning with a blank slate at 0. So go out and talk to a buyer, a seller, or an agent today. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Peace.